using ManyChat, and you are using that as well, yeah?
Yeah. So all of these trainings are done using the ManyChat platform.
Okay. And how is your involvement? I mean, like this demo bot, is it your company, your application? How is your involvement with ManyChat?
So I'm just a user of ManyChat, so I don't
Okay.
have any actual involvement with ManyChat. I'm a user of ManyChat, and the demo bot,
Okay.
is my demo bot. So I run a software company, so I run a software engineering firm. We've got
Okay.
30 developers on staff, and
Yeah.
my day job is the CEO of the company. So as you can imagine, that means that I don't really have to do much. So
Yeah.
I
I
kind of have a hobby of building bots. So uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I just do
I
some
just
training to
remembered
help
now.
people.
Yeah, when you said, I have seen it at your website, I guess. Yeah. So that is good. Actually, I have set up a bot as well, and I'm using it for one of my pages, business page. It is in alternative medicine, health and fitness sector. So I'm using it at a basic level. You know, like I'm using this growth tools and broadcasting.
Okay.
But I didn't start using other stuff like automation, or as you are doing now, I didn't start using this advanced builder. Actually, I'm still moving from this basic builder. Anyhow, and actually, I'm particularly interested in specific niche and templates. Like one of the niche I'm interested in is like restaurants, and yeah.
Okay. Well, if you're interested in restaurants, then I can show you this bot right here, and I'll just put this in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, Colin.
We have another participant. Yeah.
Yeah. Colin's here.
Okay. Okay. I see you now. Okay. Good. You smoke as well, like me.
Yeah. So
Sh-
I've
okay.
got
Shall I?
I've got a couple bad habits, but you can see that if you're interested in restaurant bots, you can see this bot. And actually, just a few minutes ago, I actually
Yeah.
went in and actually updated the order process. So if you want, I'll just go ahead and show you that, and then I can show you that inside ManyChat as well. So let's just
Okay. That
go
will be
in
good.
and grab that, and then figure out where that guy is.
Yeah.
And grab that. And let me just switch these little seats, these little places over here. So let's see, automation. Let's go there, and then
This is a real bot. Yeah. It's not a demo. This restaurant bot, I think.
no,
You have,
it's a complete demo. So
cool.
it's a complete demo that I have a whole series of demos that I use whenever I'm either doing training or whether I'm engaging a new client to show them
Okay.
a particular bot and what it could do, how it could actually help them out.
Okay.
Okay, Colin, and I'll help you. I can help you with that while we're on training, man. So let me just go ahead, and the first thing I'm going to do is clear out my order because I know I have an actual order going on right now, and then I'm going to also go ahead and open up Zapier.
Okay.
So now you can see that my order, it says he's cleared out my order. Okay, so a couple things that I should actually do while I'm here is whenever he wants to clear out that order. Oh, that order just has only an action is what's going on. So I always use the flow builder, by the way. So I would always just recommend that you use the flow builder as well because it is a really awesome tool. So
Yeah.
what I can see is actually going on here, just so that you can keep up because you didn't build this and you may not be able to understand. When a user does a keyword restart order or clear order in my bot,
Yeah.
when he
Yeah.
does that keyword, I actually didn't have any message at all. I just only had one action, which was trigger zap. And I know that trigger zap is going to come into one of my zaps here. And I know that I've got some clear order zap that, so I can see I've got some clear order zap right here. And I can clearly understand just by looking at this zap that the user is going to get a message back from this process. So there's an initial message. So whenever I got this message back right here, I know that this message was actually sent from Zapier. But what I want to do is I want to go in, and now that this guy has actually cleared his order, since he's cleared his order out, I want to kind of give him some call to actions so that he's not sitting there dead in my bot, because the more call to actions that I give him, the more that he's actually going to engage with my bot and continuously do stuff with my bot. If I don't give him call to actions, then he may engage, but if I give him call to actions, he's going to most likely engage. So I'm going to go in and actually create those call to actions. Okay. But like I said, since I know here in this checkout that I had no message and I had just an action going whenever I cleared this order, that message is coming from Zapier, I want to give a delay here of, let's say, 5 to 7 seconds to allow Zapier enough time after a user goes in and puts in this keyword to allow Zapier enough time to go in and actually do its process and finish its process, send a message back to the user, and then have my message go in underneath of that message from Zapier, because my message is also going to contain some quick replies so that he can hit those quick replies. And if my message goes out first and then Zapier's message comes in underneath of it, Zapier's message is going to clear out my quick replies, and I'm going to be in the same situation I was before with no actual call to actions on my order. So I'm just going to give him 8 seconds is plenty of time. So now I'm going to give him his message. So now I've given some message, and I'm going to say book a table. I'm going to say book a table, and I'm going to say see menu. So now, good night. So now I'm going to just go in all of my, like pretty much everything that I do when I do something, I go in and actually create a generic flow for everything so that I can go in and easily find stuff. And this one I can see that I didn't actually create that for it, but I can still actually use it even though I didn't create anything for it. So I already have a flow for whenever somebody wants to book a table. So I already have a flow whenever somebody wants to book a table. So I'm just going to pick that flow, and I already have a flow whenever somebody wants to see the menu. So I'm just going to pick that flow. So now that's actually done. So now I know that I have some good call to action there. So I'm going to see my menu, and I'm going to see my drinks menu. And I'm going to come in and add this guy to my order right here. And I may go in and actually rebuild that as well, because I can rebuild that now. And I can see that this dry martini has actually been added to my order. And you can see I did a good practice after I did that. This message actually came from Zapier as well. I know that because I built it. So this message came from Zapier. And now after I send that message, I want to give my user also a nice little call to action to do more stuff. Okay. So first I'm going to test my other flow, and I'm going to say clear order, and I'm going to clear out this order. So now here's a delay that's coming from that message. Now there's the message from Zapier, and now I can see that I could actually technically come in here if I wanted to. I could come in here and maybe change that delay just a little bit so it doesn't wait so long. So now I gave him another call to action once he cleared out that order. So he cleared out that order, reset his order. So now I can give him a call to action so he can see the menu and kind of start over again. So let's see that drink menu again and go in and order a drink. So I'm going to add this to my order. And now I want to actually go in and add something else. I just added that dry martini, and I want to add some more items. And I'm going to add an appetizer. And I'm probably going to add some chicken wings. I think I'll add these chicken wings. And I think that's all I actually need to add is just those chicken wings. So now I can go in and actually check out. And you know, this comes from Zapier. So what I'm thinking I might actually do is I might go into Zapier and I might edit this where whenever I say this has been added to your order, I'll also include in this message what your entire order is so far and what the total is so that you can kind of keep a running track of what all you're adding to your order. So now I got everything on my order. So now I'm going to go in and actually check out. So now he's going to actually check out. And I can see what my order is. I can see it's a dry martini, hot wings. My total is $18, and I'm going to go in and check out. And this is what I just added in a few minutes ago. Is I just added in how will you pay. I added in this payment method. So basically, all I did was go into this checkout right here, and all I did is before earlier today, pretty much this yes right here was linked up right there. All right. So this yes was linked up right here to the send message that's saying, how do you want this delivered? So all I did earlier was go in and split this up. Instead of going straight to the send message, I added in this block right here that says, how will you pay? And then I just gave you two options, whether you're going to pay online or you pay cash on delivery. So if you pay on cash on delivery, it's just going to put you right into this flow, just like it did before. So if you want to do COD, it's just going to route you to this flow, just like it would have routed you before if you just would have hit yes. But if you hit online, you want to pay online, well, then I added in this little content block right here. So the first thing that I have is a condition, and I'm just going to check if the user has given me their email address or not. So if they have given me their email address, well, I'm going to trigger out a Zap pay for online order, which will actually go in and generate an invoice for them and return them back an invoice for that order so that they can just go ahead and pay that online. And then it will move them forward in the order process, asking them if they want to do pickup and delivery. If they don't have an email, if they haven't given me an email already, then I'm just going to go in and collect their email, ask them for their email, and then basically do the same thing. Trigger a Zap, and then continue on that order process. So that's a little chunk that I added in today. So now I'll go in and say, hey, I want to order online. So now this guy will go in and actually return out to me. Well, he should actually. He should have returned out to me something from Zapier. So why he actually didn't return something from Zapier, that I'm actually not sure. That he should have done. So now I've done something. I've done something completely wrong there, and he should have came in, and there should be something in here, which is this guy right here. So a good thing if you're using Zapier, and you're going to use Zapier a lot, and if you want to make a functional bot, then you are going to use Zapier a lot. So if you're going to use Zapier a lot, then a good thing to be able to understand is this task history right here and know about this actual task history. So, so it looks like this Zap is turned off. So see how I found the issue really, really quickly by knowing about this task history, because I know about this task history. I obviously could have found it probably quickly if I would have looked up here and realized that this zap was actually off. But by looking at this task history, I can see that that particular task, it never actually fired. So that can make me understand really quick that, well, that guy must be turned off because he didn't fire. So now that's why he's turned off, because he's got some extra steps that shouldn't be there. So now I'm just going to skip all this stuff. And I'm going to skip this stuff. And I'm going to skip that stuff. So now hopefully that guy will actually do what he needs to do, which is go in and generate me something where I can actually pay this guy for my food online. And now he did. Now you can see he generated me something where I can go in and pay for my food. And you can see that my order is $18 and it's got a dry martini and hot wings. So just check that out. And I can see that this is an invoice for $18 that I can go in and pay, and it's for a dry martini and hot wings. So that's something that I added in just a little bit ago that allows you to easily go in and now take this guy's custom order. And if he wants to go ahead and pay online, you can just go in and actually generate him a payment slip, an invoice, so that he can pay for whatever the actual order is that he just placed. So, Colin, let me just answer your question, man. Your question was, following your advice, I was able to write Zapier storage when a Google Sheet row is updated. However, I'm not sure how to search and pull the results into ManyChat. Okay, so I think what I would need from you, Colin, is a little bit more of what it is that you're actually trying to do. Okay, so I would need a little bit more information as far as what is it that you are actually trying to do, and then we can do that. Okay. So if you want to give me a little bit more information about what you actually want to do, then we can do that. And while you give me that little bit of information, I'll just switch over here to this demo bot, and I will do what I always do, which is whenever I want to do something, I want to just go in and actually create a new piece of content. And then in that new piece of content, I will do whatever it is that I want to do. And then I'll link up to that later with some keyword or some growth tool or something. So this is going to be, this is going to be, you want to store and pull some data into ManyChat, okay? So we're going to do that. And then we're also going to go in and do a new piece of content to pull data. Okay, so now we got two different contents. We've got a piece of data we've got a content to go in and push data, and we've got a content to go in and pull data. All right, so you're saying you have a Google Sheet with a list of events. I query some keywords in ManyChat, and I would like to pull out the data from the query back into ManyChat. All right, well, still need a little bit more information exactly what you're wanting to do, but while you give that information, let's do something general. All right. So here I'm going to say I'm going to push some data to Google Spreadsheets. So now I'm going to give some little thing, and I'm going to give some user input, and this is going to be, what data do you want me to push to Google Sheets? And then I'm going to call this thing push data. And just create that as a free text. So now that's going to be push data. So we're going to make this really, really simple. And this is going to be everything other than this action group right here. That is going to just be a triggered zap, which is going to say push data. So we're going to push data. And then one other thing that we're going to do is come in here and actually sign in with the right Google account that I can't sign in with because I'm uploading a video to YouTube. Hey, leave that off, Tapas. Just leave it off. Leave it off. Turn it. No, just turn it off. See, the off one, Tapas. Just leave it off. So now I'm going to go in here to Google Sheets and create my little push data sheet. So I'm just going to call this sheet actually push data. So that's all I actually needed to do there. So now this is actually done. This is push data. So now I'm going to come in here to a zap, and I'm going to make a new zap. And I'm going to do a zap with mini chat. And this is going to be when a new trigger zap event happens. And this is going to happen from my demo bot. And the actual event is going to be the push data event. Then I'm going to test that, get some data. And then I'm going to go in and choose an app, which is going to be Sheets, Google Sheets, and I'm going to create a spreadsheet row. And first, before I create that spreadsheet row, I need to go in and put in some things. So I'm going to put in a mini chat ID, I'm going to put in a name, and I'm going to put in a data field. All right. Now we can do whatever you want. Obviously, we put in whatever fields actually work for you. So right now we're just going to use some really super generic fields. So now we're going to go in and pick that sheet. And now we're going to go in and pick these fields from MiniChat. That guy's user ID, that guy's name, and that guy's push data. And then we're going to create and continue. We're going to finish because that's it. Now I'm going to call this guy. I like to use a good naming convention every time I do something and name this zap whatever I'm triggering the zap from MiniChat so that they correlate and I can easily find it and know what goes to what. And then I like to give it my bot name, whatever my bot's going to be. And then I like to move it in some folder for MiniChat training demos if this is a useless zap that we're only doing just for a training scenario. So now that guy's on. So now it looks like that this guy's done, right? So let me just push that out to myself. And he says, I'm going to push some data to Google Spreadsheets. What data would you like to put? This is a great demo. So now let's just look and see. Hey, I got some data, but for some reason, let's try that one more time. For some reason, I didn't get the right data. also didn't get the right data. So let's see if we can figure out why we didn't get that right data. We didn't get that right data because we're using the event name that triggered Zap, and we're not using the user's custom field push data. That's why. So that will work. That didn't actually work though, you see? Still got some really, really weird information. Oh, I wonder we got weird information because we got some thing there that doesn't actually belong anywhere. So that's why. So if we're getting weird results, it's probably because we've done something weird. I'd love to say that I did all that stuff on purpose just as part of the demo, but that would be a lie. So now maybe that will actually work, and that would work. So there we got some push data. Okay. So now what you were talking about is keyword, some keyword. So now we got some keywords there. All right. Now we got some keywords. And now we want to go in and build our other piece of content, which is pull data from Google Sheets. So now what I actually want to do, and I can do this in a couple ways, and I'm going to do it in one particular way to keep it all right here inside this flow. I'm going to go in and create some settings. I'm going to create some custom field. I'm going to create a new custom field. I'm going to call this pull data. And I'm going to come back to this guy. I'm going to open up my flow builder. I'm going to add some new little action. I'm going to tell this guy that the very first thing that I'm going to do is this. I'm going to say, hey, here's your requested data. And I'm going to add a little delay. And I'm going to give some text that is going to say pull data. It's going to say pull data. Okay, now I'll do this real simple here, and then after this, I will do it a little bit more complex so that you can see you're wanting to actually use some keyword search. So this is pretty much the most basic one. All right. So here we're going to give them that data. So now we're going to go in and trigger a Zap, and we're going to call this one pull data. Imagine that. So now let's create a new Zap. And let's do a mini chat. And we're going to do the same thing for this, a new trigger is Zap whenever that happens. And we're going to choose that demo bot. And we're going to go in and do pull data whenever that happens. Now, here we're going to do the same thing. We're going to choose a Zap, and this is going to be Sheets. And here we're going to look up a spreadsheet row, and we're going to use that guy. And the spreadsheet that we're going to use is push data. Remember that spreadsheet right there, push data? We're going to use that. We're going to use this. This column is going to be that keyword column that we gave. And then right now we're just going to go in and use some static keyword E. Now, what we're going to do is add another mini chat. And we are going to set a user's custom field. So we're going to set that custom field. Remember that custom field? We had some custom field that we just created. It was called pull data. So we're going to set that user custom field. This user needs to be the user that's coming from step 1. So we need to use a custom value for that. That custom field is going to be that pull data. There it is, that pull data. That's what we want. And that value is going to be whatever comes from our lookup. And it's going to be the data itself. Now, if I wanted to give more than one piece of data, I could do that already. I could obviously format this data came from, I know I put that guy's name in there. There we go. Yeah, please. I think you asked if I wanted you to put my bed together. Yeah, please. I'll take a little nap later on. So I'm going to set that custom field. I'm pretty sure that's all I need to do right there. So now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to call this pull data from demo bot. And I'm going to put that guy right there. And then I'm going to do that. Now he's going to be turned on. And now I'm just going to come in here. And I'm going to push this guy out to my bot. And it's going to say, here's your requested data. And then there's that data right there, as you can see. So maybe this would work. And it came from John Vaughn. So you can see that I pushed data to the spreadsheet, and then I pulled data from the spreadsheet. Both of those things were accomplished with 2 pro features. So you need to have a pro mini chat account. They were accomplished with getting user input and sending something to Zapier. So now you are saying, I think you choose event data instead of custom field, and those that you were right. That's exactly what I did. So from where you are now, you created a Zapier storage to store the values when you create a new Google Sheet row. So not sure if I quite understood what you're doing there, or why you're actually doing it, Colin. But you can see you can easily push data and pull data back, and you can select multiple things. You could, for example, I have another Google Sheet that we could look at. And actually, you were here. Yeah, Daniel, you were here, and you are here, it looks like, and you were actually asking me about this earlier. And I can show you that I've got another Google Sheet that basically does go in and push stuff from it. It does go in and push entire things into a Google Sheet. You remember you were asking me about getting that user's order and all the things and the quantities that he ordered. So this does that. So this particularly actually goes in and does that. You can see these are the times of the actual new order. Now, what is this? If you remember this demo restaurant bot, see this demo restaurant bot? If you look right here, okay, and it's great that he's right there on Get Notified by Facebook. If you look right here, you see this last thing is margarita and a classic burger, right? Now you also see that this invoice that I was generated was dry martini and hot wings. And if you go in and look right up here, you can see that my order is dry martini and hot wings. So now what you can actually see is if I go in here and hit this Get Notified by Facebook, you will see a new row is going to be actually added here. That is going to be, you see, just got added there, dry martini and hot wings. And it's got some actual mini chat ID there. That's my mini chat ID. That way, because now there's another Zap that if I go in here, let's say I'm a restaurant and I'm processing these orders and I want to say that this is cooking. Now what will happen is all these people, they ask to get notified about the status of their order. So I'm gonna tell this guy his order is cooking after like I guess 5 days. I'm gonna tell him, hey, your order's finally cooking, buddy. But now what's happened is now once this actually gets updated, now this is a Zap that runs every 5 minutes. So now once this actually gets updated, he'll receive a notification, and that notification will come in there. But Vaughn, you got your hand up. What's up, honey? Oh, is that all you're doing with your hand up? You're just saying hi to everybody? Is that all? Okay. Usually I think that's people want to they want to actually they want to talk. So now you can kind of see what was going on there with pushing some data, getting some data. You can see that you can actually go into that sheet and you can put multiple pieces of content in that Google Sheet. This actually comes from Zapier storage, by the way, Colin. That's where this actually comes from. This is a whole Zapier storage item. It's a Zapier storage list that's actually just returned back and put in here. So now, if you want, you guys can kind of just have a little bit of open dialogue with me and let me know other things that you may want to see, that you may want me to go in and actually show you, or you want to do live on the demo, and then we can just go in and dive into that. Anything? Anything you guys want to see? Anything you guys want to go over? Don't be shy. Oh, thank you so much, Topos. Anything? Somebody must have something that they want to see, right? Somebody must have something that they want to actually learn, that they're trying to figure out to do in their own bot. Thank you. If not, I can just sit and drink my tea on the demo if that's what if you guys would rather watch me drink tea on the training, I can just sit and have my tea.
Tea are you drinking?
I don't know, it's some lemon tea that Topos just brought me. So it's just like some lemon tea with a little bit of sugar in it.
Yeah, maybe something about making appointments, because I think we just showed how to sell on within the bot. But I was a little bit late.
Okay. So yeah, we can go through and I can show you appointments. We already have something set up for that. And yeah, Colin, let's just go in and do that first though, real quick. So let's go in and do what you're wanting to do real quick, and then we'll go in and show those actual appointments. So first, what we're going to actually do is let's go in and edit this flow. Let's go in and have a new message. All right. We want to continue from here and pop this guy over there, and then move our starting step right here. And then we just want to ask this guy for a little bit of user input. What is your keyword? All right, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to make this multiple choice just to make it easy. And this is going to be keyword. So that's going to be keyword. Going to put that keyword in there. And then let's just add our quick replies. A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So now that's done. Now that's done. Now that's done. That should all work just fine now.
What are you doing at the moment?
Well, what I'm doing at the moment is right now, Colin asked me, is it possible for the user to type in a keyword A from your last Google sheet and have them return maybe this would work data. So if you remember that we have this sheet that we just did, and it wouldn't return this would work data, it would return push data because that's what's in here. So let me put, this is keyword A data. And then I'll just go in and take this guy and bring that guy down there and then go in and just edit this to this is B. This is C. This is D.
Does this also work with Excel?
Well, this is Excel. I mean, this is literally Excel. It's just Google Sheets. It's Excel online. So if you were to take your Excel sheet and push it online, you could save it as this Google Sheet. So could it work with Excel? Then it could work with Excel only if you're using Excel, the online version of Microsoft Office, and only if they have a Zapier integration. And I don't believe that they actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So now all we had to do is just do this one extra step, right? This is all we had to do is this one extra step, add in this data. So now what we need to do is go back right here to this guy, and we just need to edit these options and change this, and actually go in and retest step 1 to get that new. We want to retest step 1 to get that new field that we put in there, and it should be keyword. See? So now that should actually work just fine, where we could come in here and preview this out, and I'm going to ask for A. See, this is keyword A data. So I can push that out again. And I can go in and give C. And this is keyword C data. So yeah, you can see totally possible. Almost anything that we want to do is possible. So we just use our brains enough. Almost anything we want to do is possible. So then you wanted to see some type of appointment schedule, right? So so to see that appointment schedule, what we're going to do is we're going to come right over here and we're going to go to this calendar. And then we're also going to go in here. We're going to go right here to this bot right here, to this other bot. And we're going to say book and appointment. Nope, we won't say that. We'll say schedule a meeting. How about that? Yeah, sure, that works. So he's just asking me, what do you want to schedule the meeting about? So he's just asking, what do you actually want to schedule the meeting about? And I told him, hey, about the live demo. Now, let's just go into that flow while we're looking at it. That one's done. So let's go into that John Vaughn bot. And then we'll just go to this content or this automation, to these keywords, and find this guy right here that has book appointment, set up a time, set up a meeting, etc., etc. And we'll just look at his flow. And you can see his flow is pretty straightforward. Whenever that keyword triggers, he says, can you tell me what the meeting will be about? He grabs that input, stores the input. Then he goes to a conditional clause that looks to see if you already have an email address stored for this user, because it gets really annoying if you've asked this dude for an email and then every time you need his email, you continuously ask him for his email over and over. At some point, that guy's going to get annoyed and saying, you know, I keep giving you the same email, you know, every single day. So to alleviate that stress of our user, we're going to go in and add some conditional block here that will just check to see if he has an email address. Now, if he doesn't have an email address, then we're going to go acquire that email address from him. We're going to come down here. We're going to ask him from that email address, and then we're going to route him on to the rest of our flow. If he does have that email address on file, then we're just going to go in and ask him if I should send the confirmation email to whatever the email address is that we have on file for him, his custom field email address. If he says no, then we're going to route him right back down here to go in and collect that email address from him. If he says yes, then we'll route him right over here to the rest of our flow, where we're going to ask him now for the time and date of the appointment. And then we're going to go in and tell him that we scheduled this on our calendar. And then we're going to actually go in and trigger a zap to schedule the actual appointment. So you can see now I've already got an email address. So he's asked me just to confirm that. Now he's asking me when it's going to be. So I'm just going to say it's going to be tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST. So now you should be able to see over here on this Google Calendar that you see John Vaughn about the live demo was scheduled tomorrow for that time. Now he's actually scheduled at 5 p.m. because Google's actually reading a different time zone on this actual calendar. This calendar this guy is scheduled at 5 p.m. EST, but this calendar is set at a different time zone. So from my perspective, when I'm looking at it, Google's actually offsetting it. If you have a Google Calendar and you would have if you would have set this appointment, you would have just got this invitation right here to your Google Calendar event. And for some reason, Google is still saying that this is for 5 p.m. EST. So I'm not quite sure why Google said that. So for that, we probably want to go in and look into our Zap. But you can see the whole process there. So now that appointment has been added in your Google Calendar. He's been added there in your Google Calendar. And then now from there, you can set up another Zap that will go in and it will go in and do the actual reminder and push the reminder out through Messenger. Whenever there's another Zap that will come in here. That's probably right here, meeting reminder. So here's the schedule event that just fired off. This event is what just actually fired off. Let's just look at that guy. And I'm really not sure why he's going in and changing that actual time. But here's that event that was just fired off. You can see what I do is I store the MiniChat ID in the description. So in the description of the event, I pipe in the user's MiniChat ID. And the reason that I do that is so that whenever I have some Zap that goes in and this Zap that wants to push out the meeting reminder back to Facebook, I can go in and I'm just going to grab all meetings 30 minutes before they fire out. And then I'm going to send a reminder out to the user. And the user that I'm going to use is that step 1 description, because I know whenever I actually store that calendar event, that I put the user's mini chat ID inside the calendar's event description. So I know that I do that because I made the Zap. So I know that every calendar event is going to have the user's mini chat ID in the calendar in that event's description. So now I can just, whenever that event fires off, it's going to trigger a Zap 30 minutes before the event actually starts. And then I'm going to get that Zap through this trigger. And now inside that trigger, I'm holding the user's mini chat ID in the step 1 description. And I can tell him that we have a meeting about whatever the summary was, which is what he told me in the first place that he wanted to meet about. So now I can push him out that reminder and send him that reminder. So what about that? Is that what you wanted to see on scheduling an appointment? If that's a yes, you got to unmute yourself.
She's muted.
Yeah.
Did you mute me? Was I making a noise? Sorry.
Yeah, I always mute people whenever I start hearing like a bunch of background noise, like a TV or people talking in the background. I just always mute people because it really defocuses.
Yeah, okay. There's no problem, but I didn't see it, so sorry. Would you also use this for GPs and dentists and...
Yeah, and there's other calendar tools in Zapier that you can integrate with. There's other Zapier tools and there's other calendar tools in Zapier. And you can also always use whatever calendar tool that you're using just by putting in some card that says schedule meeting and linking it to the actual. I mean, right now a lot of people have some web page, and on that web page it's got their calendar and all their open slots, and they allow somebody just to schedule one of those slots. So you can link that web page in right through the chat bot, and most of the time the chat bot will open that up right in Messenger. It will, because Messenger is a web view, it just opens up in a Messenger web view. And if it doesn't open up in a Messenger web view, then what you can always do is you can always just contact your provider that you're using for your calendar, and then just tell them that they need to go in and actually update the HTML objects inside their pages to include a couple tags that will tell Facebook to render this thing in a web view. It's relatively easy. We've done it to several of the websites that we've built, because that's what we do as a development firm, is we build websites and web applications and mobile applications. So it's a relatively simple thing to do. So if your calendar provider doesn't support it, you can always just call in and tell them, hey, can you start supporting this? Because if not, I'm gonna switch over to these other guys because they're actually supporting it. But you always have that option. Obviously, is if people are going in and they're scheduling those events. They're scheduling those events through your calendar on your website already. There's no harm in sending them back there anyways through Messenger. Obviously, if they're on their computer, no link is ever going to open up in Messenger if you're on a computer. That link is always going to open up in a new tab. Always. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're on your phone, Messenger will open it up in an actual web view application. All right. And if your link doesn't open up in a web view application, if it natively opens up in your browser, then that's fine. That doesn't cause a huge issue, especially if your users are doing that already. And if you're concerned about them getting outside of Messenger and now that Messenger being covered up and them getting back to Messenger, well, what do? You give a little delay. You can give, a 3-minute delay on whenever you give them the link to book, and then you give a 3-minute delay, and then you shoot them out another piece of content to pop them right back in Messenger if that's what you're scared about. So you can always do that as well, and that's not as bad as some people make it out to be. Like it's not the end of the world if you send your user to a website from Messenger.
And could you also communicate the whole thing only within ManyChat, or do you really need that email address?
Well, you don't need the email address. I mean, you don't need the email address. The email address, I use it because, I mean, it's optional whenever you do a Google Calendar event, it's optional. So you don't actually need it, but in my opinion, you want it. In my opinion, when you have a chance to capture an email address, you better just go ahead and capture that right now. Because you still want that email address. Even no matter what, you still want that email address because you probably still don't want to stop email marketing, right? The messenger marketing is still going to end up being a little intrusive sometimes, right? So if you're just always sending out your content through Messenger and now you're just going to do everything through Messenger, your users at some point, they may start to think that that's intrusive. And there's still always going to be a use for that email and for your newsletter, whatever you're currently delivering through email. You can give an option to deliver those things in Messenger as well, but you still want to send them out in an email.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'm going to do that next week.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
So what else do you guys want to see?
Can you check this Google spreadsheet I sent you?
Hmm? Yeah, let me check this. Give me like 30 seconds real quick. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick and then we'll do this.
Okay, no problem. Hi, Vaughn.
What are you going to sell?
I'm trying to build some kind of mini web shop with so people can add stuff from chatbot to this Google sheet, and then after they add items, I can see how much items did they take and how much money they have to pay, and after that I can give them those items and collect money.
Mm-hmm.
This is not for me; it's for my colleague.
Yeah, okay, but it's for web shop use.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so here you got a timestamp, you got a name, you got an ID, a package, price per ounce, quantity, price, all.
Yes, we were talking about this on your demo bot. So you asked me why do I need sheet for one for each customer. So the idea was this is something like I don't know, similar to web shop. So I want to send this sheet or questions in bot, so my customer can choose item, quantity of item. I don't know anyone. So after he finished it, he sent me a message. Notification, and then I see how many items he wants, and I see how much money he has to pay. So I need this per each user. So I don't want one sheet for all customers. Do you understand? So I don't know how to make this.
Well, so to be honest, that's going to be a real pain in the ass to build, because if you want to have a sheet for every user, then that means you need you're going to need pretty much you're going to need a Zap for every single user. So for every customer that you have, you're going to have to build a Zap for every single one of them.
Okay. One other thing I thought in the meantime was is it possible maybe to send this sheet template, clean one, of course, to every customer, and then he goes to Google Sheets, he fill out how much every item he needs, and then I get notification and I see how many items and what is the total of his merchandise. Is that maybe simpler version, or you maybe have some other idea? I didn't think of something else. I don't know.
If it was me, here's what I would do. You see this?
This is very similar to this. Yeah.
So this is exactly what I would do. Okay. If it was me, here's what I would do. All right.
Okay.
So this is going to take a few minutes, by the way. So let's just
Okay.
make a copy of this real quick.
Then you have different prices also for every customer.
I don't understand. Each item has a different package, weight, or quantity, and of course, different price. Yes, yes, of course.
But it's the same list for every customer.
Yes, I just pre-fill it. Just for example, quantity should be 0, and
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
But it's the same list and the same articles and the same price
Yes.
for everybody who's ordering.
Yes, that's right. This is similar to, I don't know, weekly newsletter with new items. Every week, I will build new Google Sheet and send to customers. Okay.
Okay. So what this is technically representing are the orders, the things that a particular, I mean, this is representing what one of your users wants to purchase.
Yes.
Okay. What's the purpose of this time field?
I saw it in your Google Sheet, so I thought it would be cool, but maybe in this one is not necessary. You can delete it.
Okay. So this ID is the ID of the item.
Yes.
Okay.
But that is also unnecessary maybe right now.
And this quantity is how many things that the user is ordering, right?
That's right. And per one price per one is price per one, and price all it is how much. If he bought 2 items cost 10, it's 20. So
okay. So I'm gonna do this. Okay.
Okay. But the name of the item and ID is maybe also double? Or is it a number?
So I'm going to do this. I'm going to just create a product listing sheet now. Okay. So you also don't need this. You also don't need this anymore. All right. So now you just have a Google Sheet that has all your products in it. So now you can go in every week and you can just actually update your products. All right.
That's right. Thanks. Okay.
So now what I would do is let's go to this demo bot. Let's go to this demo bot. And like I said, this is going to take a little bit of time to do. This is going to take just a little bit of time to do. So let's go in and actually do this now. Now I'm not going to do every single product that you have because it's going to take enough time to just do
No. One of the products is.
So let's just do like 2 products and give somebody two products to choose from. All right.
Okay.
So this is your order process. So we're going to go in and go to this flow builder and just say, and then now let's go in and add a gallery of cards. Okay. And then what we're going to do is come back over here to this product sheet. And we're going to grab some data from your product sheet. It's going to be item 1.
So in case of if I have 100 products, how will you set this up? Because in this gallery you can have a maximum 10 items. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
So you would go in and add another gallery and add 10 more items, or
10 galleries with 10 items.
Yeah. Well, essentially, what I would essentially what I would suggest that you do, man, is I would suggest that you create some navigational flow where, I mean, let's say you got 100 items. You really think you're going to get a user to look through 100 items, man? No. You need to give
No.
that user some way where he can go in and specifically look for items that are in a group. All right. So then you'll just have separate flows, electronics, right? And you can present him your 15 items that you have in electronics, or, adult toys or coffees or whatever items. You need to go in and create specific flows to group in those items. If you ever
Okay, categories. Okay, thanks. I understand. Thank you very much.
Yep. So we just got this right here. Let's give some image. Let's give some image, and let's just be real vain and use images of myself.
Is that you, Vasil?
Yeah, that's totally me.
Wait. Oh, I think
100,
it's
100 grams of John.
Well, let's grab item 2. Like I said, we're just going to do these 2 items.
Okay.
All right, there's that. And this is going to say buy this. Right. Now we've got that. All right. So now what we actually want to do is we want to take this guy right here and go to a little action group. And in this action group, what we want to do is
Trigger zap.
Yeah, what we're gonna do though is all right, we're not going to trigger a zap right now. We are going to end up triggering a zap, but the first thing that we're going to do is set a custom field. We just need to only set one custom field right now. We only need to set just the item that he's wanting to purchase, and then we need to set one more custom field, but we don't need to set that at this point. We'll set that in the next step. So what we need to do is we need to go in and add some field called current item. All right. So now he's got some current item. All right. So now what we're going to do is now what we're going to do. Good night. Now we're going to go in and call that item 1. Now we're going to go in and call this item 2. Okay.
Okay.
These are your 2
So
different items.
custom field has the same name as the item 1.
Well, the custom field is current item. All right. Literally, what we're going to do is we're going to add this to his cart for the most part, and we're going to to add this to his cart, we're going to use an external storage provided by Zapier. So what we want to do is we want to hold whatever his current item is, and then send that current item up to Zapier, so that Zapier can say, hey, he's just pretty much added an item to his cart. Well, what's he going to add to his cart? What's he adding to his cart? His current item, all right? So now he can hit this button and send this item to his cart. He can hit the next button, send that item to his cart. Now, the only thing I'm really not liking about this is we're going to actually have to do a loop back. But I'll show you what a loop back is. I'll show you what a loop back is in just a second, but we're going to have to do that loop back, and I don't really want to do that, but it's no big deal. So now what we're going to do is come here, and we're going to go to send a message, and we're going to link both these guys into that send a message, and we're actually going to get some user input. And we're going to go in and we're going to go in and call this current item quantity, okay? Because
Okay,
you want to know how many he wants to buy, right?
that's right.
So now we know how many we wants to buy. He's going to go in and literally tell us how many he wants to buy. All right.
Okay.
So now what we can do is now send this to Zap.
Yeah.
And we're just going to call this add to cart. Okay.
Okay.
So now we've got that. There's our flow. So now let's go to Zapier. Make a new Zap. That's going to be add to cart. So we're going to pick mini chat as our action, a new trigger Zap event. It is going to be a demo bot. The event is going to be add to cart. We're going to continue. Now what we want to do is fetch and continue. Now, first thing we want to do is find out who this person is David, right? So now what we want to actually do is come in, we want to find David. And there's David right there. And we want to show all these guys. And we want to go in and go current item is item 1. And current item quantity is 10. All right, so we want to set those custom fields so that Zapier doesn't error out. And we want to go in and retest MiniChat so that now he's got those values. All right, so now we got that. So now we want to continue. Now we want to actually continue. Now we want to do sheets. Now we want to look up a spreadsheet row. And we're going to continue. And we want to, what spreadsheet do we want? Product listing, that spreadsheet that you just gave me that I went in and modified.
Okay.
What do we want to look up? We want to look up the name, right?
Yes.
And the value that we're going to look up is what? What value would we look up?
Quantity.
Nope. Current item. This is the item that he's adding to the cart. So what we're literally going to do is now we're going to get this data. Now we can take current quantity and we can multiply it by the ID.
By the number.
Correct.
Okay.
We can also multiply current quantity by the package weight and then return back to him a line item in storage that line item is going to hold what his that he was getting that item, the quantity, the total weight, and the total price for that particular line item. And we're just going to stick that line item into a storage until he's ready to check out. Once he's ready to check out, we're going to go in and grab every line item in the storage. And then we're also going to actually update another little custom variable that's going to hold the current total price of his order. That way we can check out. So now we got this guy. And we want to search and continue. And we've got some data back. So now we want to actually add a step where when we're going to add a step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that I don't want you guys to be scared about. All right. Because trust me, a little Google searching and you can figure this out really easy. But I'm going to do something, like I said, I don't want you guys to be scared about this. I'm going to come right here to this add numbers. See this add numbers? I'm going to come right here. I'm going to go to this run Python code, and then I'm going to steal this code right here. Okay. So now I'm going to come in, and this step is going to be code by Zapier because I'm going to run some custom code, and I'm going to run some Python code. And I'm going to take some inputs here. So input is going to be, what inputs do I need? I need weight. I need price. And I need quantity. Right? Those are the things that I actually need to come up with the calculation. So Now this is going to be weight. This is going to be price. This is going to be quantity. And this weight, where's this weight going to come from? This weight is going to come from this spreadsheet row from package, right?
Yes.
Now, we have one issue here, okay? You do not have these listed in mathematical units. So you need to go in and convert these to mathematical
Only numbers. Only numbers.
Correct. So we need to go in and convert this to a mathematical unit. And we're just
But I need those units for customers. Is it better to put these units in a separate column, maybe, so he can see it, but not include in Zapier?
why do you need the units for customers to see?
Because, for example, item 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the same item, but in different packages. Okay.
Right.
So
When you say package, you call gram. Is that not possible?
yes, grams. This is for grams. So I need to know if you want to buy, I don't know, 200 grams and 1/2 kilo, 500 grams. Because he needs to see how much weight is it. So
But if you look, my man, he's still seeing how much weight it is. Just put a disclaimer and say package weights are expressed in grams. So now he can clearly see this is 100 grams, this is 200 grams, this is a kilo, so that's 1,000 grams.
yes, but if you see item 9 and 10 have quantity by pieces, for example. So some items are weight by weight, and some are by pieces. So this is something I have to combine. So what do you think of solution that I put new column right next to C instead of D? For example, D column is for those units, and Zapier doesn't count that units. It's only for customers, so he can see what unit is
Do you need to return this guy back a total weight? Does he need a total weight? Do you need to show him a total weight?
No.
Okay. So if you don't need to show him a total weight, then fine, let's just remove weight because we don't care about weight.
Okay.
Okay? So all we want to do is return him back a total price, right?
Yes. Price per item he choose. Okay.
Oh. So price is this guy. Look up price per one. Quantity is this guy. Look up. Should be that guy. And hopefully we don't get an error on that one because yeah, great.
It's great.
So now we got that. All right. So so this guy is now what this guy is actually holding is this guy is holding our total cost, right?
Yes.
So now let's add another step. And we want to actually, we're going to use some storage by Zapier. All right. So we're going to do just a couple things. First, we're going to increment a value. Okay. So we're going to increment a value. What value are we actually going to increment? Well, we are going to increment. Now we're using storage by Zapier. we want to actually use this guy's user ID. And then we're going to go in and say, what is this going to be? This is going to be, their total. Okay, now I'm just putting your name there because we're doing this for you, and I already have something called total, so I can't use it again. So now I'm going to increment this by this run Python. Okay, because if you remember, this run Python is holding the actual total price of whatever line item he just ordered 15 of or whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and do that. And then now I'm going to add another step. I'm also going to use storage by Zapier. This time, I'm going to push a value onto a list because I want to have a list of items. So now I'm going to push a value onto a list, and then I'm going to give a key, which I'm also going to give this key here, and then I'm going to give this key as their order. Okay, so now the value that I'm going to push to the list is, I'm actually going to push this to the end of the list. The value that I'm going to push to the list is, I am going to put what am I going to put on this list? I'm going to put first, I'm pretty sure I can get that all from here. I'm going to get the name, and then I'm going to put, so what do you want to show them here? You want to show them the name of the item they're purchasing, the price?
Name and total price. It will be okay.
Just only total price, that's it? Well, that makes
or
it
maybe name of items. No, it is better to show them name of the item, quantity, and total price, for example.
Is it an idea to put the grams into the name of the item because you have one item in 3 different weights? So you can say item A 100 gram, item B 200 gram, or item A 100 gram, item A 200 gram, item A 500 gram, and then you just have to order 111. So you only have this, you don't have to order grams. It's much easier.
Yep. So there's that. So now we're going to dump this into that list. Okay?
Okay.
Now.
I think I'm muted again.
No, you're not muted, sweetie. We hear you. Now let's create and continue this. All right. So now we're going to create and continue this. And now let me try to think what else we want to do here real quick. What else we want to do is we probably want to send him a confirmation, right, that this has been added to his order. So whenever we send him a confirmation, do you want to send him a confirmation and only have, only show him what we just added to his order, or do you want to show him what we added to his order plus what his current order is?
I don't know right now. I thought that.
Okay, I'll answer it for you. We'll just show him. We'll show him only what we ordered right now, what he added to his order right now, and then we'll do the other. We'll do the other later. So, because that will make it simpler. So now we're gonna send a message to a user. And honestly, if you wanted to, we could send this back to him on a card. So we could send it back to him on a card if we wanted to, but we're not going to actually do that. We're just going to send them back a little text order. So we're going to say thanks, first name. We have added okay, so now we've got that. So I think that should be good enough for us. And remember, like I always say, your best option is to go in and whatever you're calling this event that is actually triggering the zap, also go in and name your zap that. Okay, so that should be done. So now we should be able to come to this and push this out to ourselves. And hey, we got some cool stuff where we can buy this or we can buy that. Okay, so let's buy this. So now we're gonna buy that. How many do you want to buy? Let's say 15. That was item 2. They have a price of 20, by the way.
Okay.
Now you can see it just says, thanks, John. We have added 15 item 2 to your order for a total of 300. So 15 times 20 would be 300. So there you go.
Correct.
Now, what we want to do, I would say what we would want to do though is, I would say probably what we would want to do is we would want to probably go in and push out a piece of content as well to give this guy some more call to actions, right? Because now he can't do anything else. You want him to buy something else, then you need to send out a custom content that will say, would you like to buy something else, or would you like to process your order? Okay. So
yes.
So let's go in and just do that real quick. I think we was done with this, so hopefully we were done with that. So let's go in and create a new piece of content called after add to cart content. All right, because this is the content that we're going to send after we add something to the cart.
Okay.
What would you like to do now? So now we're going to say order more items or checkout. All right, that sounds good. If you want to order more items, then we're going to go to, and we are going to go to that order process.
First one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go to this guy right here, that order process. If you want to check out, then for right now, let's just do an action group. Let's trigger a zap called checkout. So now let's create a new zap. This is going to be also mini chat. When a new trigger a zap event happens for this demo bot, and the event is going to be this checkout Daniel order. So now what we need to do is just come in right here, Remember these little storage guys?
Yeah.
So now let's go in and fetch some of those guys, all right? So we want to get a value from storage. That is going to be this guy right here. And then we also want to go in from storage, and we want to get list values, which was this guy right here. This is just a formatter. And then we want these all separated on a new line. Okay, and now let's, just to make this simple, let's go back to ManyChat. Actually, while we're in ManyChat, we did publish that. So while we're here, let's just come in to this guy right here. And let's add one more thing to this guy, which is push out that custom piece of content that we just created. So we just created that piece of content and we want to send that out to the user from our demo bot. And we're going to go pick a custom value, which is going to be this user ID, and this content is going to be this after add to cart content. Okay, so now we edited that. So now let's come back here. Here we just want to send a message to a user. And the message that we're going to use is this demo bot. And the user that we're going to use is a custom value. This user from 1.
Oh, yay.
And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to grab this guy and save him there. And we're going to put him inside there. So I think, I'm not sure, could be wrong, but I think that we're good now. So let's come in here. Let's get us a little piece of content. Let's buy this guy right here. Yeah, we want to buy that. How many do I want of that? I want to get 7 of that. Now that thing is $10, or the price is 10, so I'm assuming that's $10. So I want to get that.
It's
thing
10 kronas, but it's okay.
Okay, so you see, I added 7 item 1 to your order for a total of 70. So let's go ahead and check out now.
Okay.
Now we should get some message from Zapier. There's our message from Zapier. Here's your order details. Item 2, you got a quantity of 15, total price of 300. Item 1, you got a quantity of 7, total price of 70, with a grand total of 370.
That is awesome.
It really is.
So we could go right in here and then just edit this right here and then put this as a grand total. So now you can see, if you want to, now you could go in and do kind of like what I'm doing over here, and you could have your own spreadsheet for orders, right? So now you just before you had this, which is what you're going to go in and pay some time, and you're going to have one of these for each client. Instead, let's just have one spreadsheet for your products, and then let's have one spreadsheet for your orders. And your order spreadsheet is going to look like this. You can put an order date. You can put the items here. Inside the item, you can see you have all the different items that the user wants to buy, right? You have a whole list of the different items that they want to buy. And then you can go in and put the grand total here. And then you can, have an arbitrary status or have the mini chat user ID so that you can send some information back, maybe put the person's name in there, maybe collect their shipping address or something from mini chat, and then now put their shipping address and into the spreadsheet. Now you can just go into the spreadsheet, and right at the end of this process here, you could go in, or at the end of this process or before this process, you could go in and add this, since you want to check out, add this order into Google Sheets. Or you could go in and now that he wants to check out, now you could give him this back. You could generate an invoice, and then on successful payment of that invoice, you could go in and then add that order to the Google Sheet, because it's actually a order that he's paid for. So you should do something with it now. That's all up to you.
Okay. Great. This is really awesome job. It looks very easy when you do it.
You keep coming to training, man, and it will start to look very, very easy whenever you do it. The only thing, so what's your guys' best friends? Okay.
What?
Your best friend. This is your best friend right here. Besides me.
Okay.
This is your best friend right here. You could just do something like this. Do math in Zapier. Store data in Zapier. Book appointments with Zapier.
So I need to learn Zapier. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, if you, I mean, almost everything. So as much as I love MiniChat, as much as I really love MiniChat, it's an awesome platform, really awesome platform. It's just a content machine, man. It can do some regexes, right? So it can basically do some regexes where it can parse some data, parse a message, and then match some message tokens inside that message with some message tokens that we have. That's a keyword, right? It can read our message and see, oh, inside your message you have this keyword, so reply back out, right? So it can do that. It can do some basic conditional logic, right? And just check a basic if block. If this, then do that, else do that. So and then you can chain those things to make if else blocks by chaining those things. But as far as action goes, it can't do that much action. So all the action is going to happen inside of Zapier. All right. So that's why MiniChat, that's why almost every major company that you see has their software has a Zapier integration, because it's a great aggregator. So any real action that your bot is actually going to do, it's for the most part all going to come through Zapier. So if you want to know how to really be able to build complex and functional bots using MiniChat as a platform, then you really need to familiarize yourself with Zapier and all the different apps that are in Zapier and all the different integrations that you can do with Zapier, so that now, I mean, how did I know to use Zapier storage to create this? Well, because I spend a lot of time, even my company, we have like 7 different applications in Zapier that we've built our own Zapier integrations for our own softwares or for our client softwares. All right.
Okay.
So I use it a lot. So if you want to be able to make this stuff really easy, you need to start getting more familiar with the tools and what capabilities you have in the tools. And how can you do that? Really easy. You can just Google, you Google store data in Zapier, because that's what you're trying to do. And it pops up right here. Plenty of introductions on how you can store data in Zapier. And then you would learn about that Zapier storage, and you would learn about that Zapier list, and you would know, hey, if I want to create a list of multiple items, then I can use that Zapier list.
Great. Thank you. So will this video be available, or this is just for show me how to do it?
So these videos are always available. So all the training videos are recorded and they're always available. Okay. So if you go in and you look, and you can see that there is a keyword right here called pre-training replays.
Okay.
You will see in here are all the, I started doing these pre-training videos on Monday. And you can see on Monday, I did 5 of them. Here's those 5 videos on Monday. On Tuesday, I did 2 of them. There's those 2. Wednesday, I did 5 more of them. There's those. Today, I've done 1. And this is the second one, which will go right in here. Okay. So
okay,
yes,
I understand.
they
Thanks.
are always available, but there is a little condition here. Okay. And this condition is called paid how to. So you will see that if you don't have this value set to true, then you can't get over here where all this premium content is. You can only get down here where I'll tell you that this content is for paid users only, and you can get access to all this content unlocked for just $10 a month. I'll give you 1 free piece of content right now so you can see how valuable the content is. You can take advantage of that. After you get that 1 free piece of content, you won't be able to get another free piece of content. You'll just be automatically routed into this flow that's going to tell you, hey, you know, I've made 5 videos. I mean, that was actually 9 hours worth of my time. So for the average client of mine, they would have had to pay me $900 for that time. I've got some awesome kids here, so you just go in and pay that $10 a month, and yes, you can have access to all that premium content.
I already did. I paid yesterday.
Yeah, so then if you paid yesterday, then you'll be able to go in and just put in pre-training replay, and then you will be able to get this. If you just go to day 4, video 2, then you'll see this video right here.
Great. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay, good to know.
And then I was actually, right before getting on this training, I was actually going in and building out a flow that will go into all you guys that have that tag, that you have that paid how to, because you pay that $10 a month for the premium content, where I'm about to send you guys out a flow once I finish building it that will just ask you if you want to get notified via Facebook whenever I add new premium pieces of content that only you guys have access to. And then if you guys want access to those premium contents, then, or if you want notifications, then every time I add one in, like these training videos, or whenever I go in and build demos on my own to do things, I record those and show how to do them, kind of just like this video, and set for with no live people on it. Then I'll add those in there, and then I'll send you every time I add a new premium content. If you subscribe to the notifications, I'll go in and add those to you. And how you can subscribe to this bot, that's really easy. How you can subscribe to that bot is I can just grab one of these guys right here and find let's find a good one. I'm going to send you one of these. Let's find one of these ref tools. This is a ref tool right there. I'm going to send you this one right here. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna send this is for Samuel, because he's asking how do you subscribe to this bot. So this ref tool right here just basically opens this flow and basically tells you that you can go to this website right here and you can sign up for the training that we're actually having. I'm doing 35 hours worth of live training over December, which is going to be really, really good training. There's already over 300 people signed up for it, and if you watch out on the MiniChat community, you'll see that all the owners of MiniChat are going to be promoting that training tomorrow. So this basically takes you into that flow and lets you know that, hey, you can go in. Good night. It just lets you know, hey, you can go in and join this training if you want to, but just by clicking that link, you will be actually subscribed to the bot. So, so what you can do is, if you want to subscribe to this bot, you can just click that link right there. Oh, sorry. I sent that to Colin. Sorry about that, Colin.
Let me see.
You can click that link right there. And let's look and see how many people have subscribed to this training so far. 302. So what else?
This is it for me. Thank you very much. It was really great and nice to see how you can connect these sheets with ManyChat bot.
Yep, you can. We can do pretty much anything you want, man.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. Well, I'm going into Zapier as well and have to learn more about this.
Okay. Elisa, you said that you have a dance school and you want parents to be able to put their child's birthday in and to see the class schedule for their child's age group. That's not too complex for a mini chat bot. But what I would suggest there is don't collect their child's birthday. I would just collect their age. If you do their age, that's going to be really simple if you do their age. If you do their birthday, you're going to have to do some mathematical calculation to derive their age from their birthday. Is there any particular reason you want to get their birthday instead of just going straight to the age and getting their age? Oh, I don't think you're here anymore, are you? No, you're here. I see you there, Alyssa. Any particular reason you want to get the birthday instead of the age? Good night. Yeah, she left a couple hours ago.
There's some messages for her in the chat.
Okay. Good night. Okay. So birthdays could be helpful to send congrats messages in the future. That they could be, but it does present a bit of complexity to actually convert and derive an age from the birthday because we're going to have to do a mathematical function. So once their child aged out of the group, I want to be able to remove them from that particular tag. And well, that you could do, but that's going to be a little bit of a manual process. So if you want to completely automate this, we can completely automate it, but this is going to be a little bit more complex because we're going to have to actually go in and store their birthdays as a yearly event on a calendar so that every year automatically when their birthday comes, we can do some stuff in ManyChat through Zapier to go in and actually remove a tag and then recalculate a tag. And then we also have to calculate their birthday, like their actual age. So I'm just going to ask Google this. And I don't think I can use a math function in Zapier. I don't know if they'll let me use that library because actually I don't even want to do it in JavaScript. I want to do it in Node because that's what they let me do it, either in Node or Python. So we could do this, but we're going to have to do a little bit. I mean, we're going to have to do a little bit of R&D as far as we're going to have to do a little bit of R&D. This says it's, what is this? Neck. So let's see if there's something called neck here. There is something called neck here. So let's see what neck allows us to do. Because it looked like neck said that we could go in. New form submission, new record, updated record, deleted record, action, create record. So now, did NAC say that they had a form submission? Triggers when a new form is submitted for your app. So create a record. So I would have to actually go in and do some R&D on exactly how to do this with the birthday. So with an age, obviously with the age, it'd be really, really simple. With the age, it would be something really straightforward and similar to what we just did here, where you're just going to have a list of ages, and then next to that age, you're going to have a schedule, and then you're just going to do a lookup. Somebody's going to give you the age of someone's going to give you the age of the child, and then you're just going to go in and do that spreadsheet lookup, and that spreadsheet lookup will pull in your schedule, and then pipe that back out to them really easy. So that way would be really, really simple and would take maybe 10 minutes to go in and set up. This other way is going to be a little bit more complex, and like I said, even I'm going to have to go in and do some R&D. Even I'm going to have to go in and do some R&D to figure out how we're going to mathematically take that birthday and convert that birthday into a physical age, and then look up, because still ultimately you're still going to have a spreadsheet or something similar to a spreadsheet that is going to be something really similar to this, where you're going to have a spreadsheet, and then okay. Ultimately, you're going to have a spreadsheet, and you're going to have an age and a calendar. So, bye. So, if you wanted to do it that way, like I said, we could do it that way. We could do it that way relatively easily. Okay. So if we've got some Excel function, so you are saying to do this. So let's see if we can actually do that. So that looks like that works. That looks like that will actually work. So we could use that, I guess. So
Hey, John, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, I had a question about what you're trying to do right now. Would it be possible that when the person initially registers, since you have their birth date as they type it in, couldn't you there do a calculation that says, let's set a future date based on the birth date of X, so let's assume 2019. So that's already in the spreadsheet as the date by which to automatically switch the tag. So in other words, instead of having to check every time, up front, you already set the expiration date, right? So I know what your birthday is today, and then set that future expiration date already in the system so that when that date comes up, the system would automatically switch your status. Would that be possible?
Well, possibly, yeah, but we have to connect and figure out what is going to be the trigger that is going to now trigger that to get sent to Zapier, because essentially we're having a 1 year delay, or we're having X amount of delay before we need to actually update that information. So what's going to be so we could do that actually. So we could,
Yeah, wouldn't it be similar to a coupon that expires at a certain time?
well, we could do that by doing this, right? So we could do that. We could do that by doing this. So the only thing that you'd need to do is go in and make sure that you run this down enough, right? So what you could do now, the only thing, and actually, how is that going to actually work if we go in and, because we could go in and do this whenever this actually updates, right? Because this will update eventually on whenever this date gets here. This thing will update automatically now this will now essentially automatically update. So we could have a trigger when this actually updates to go in and do that. Yes. But the only thing that I'm not sure about, and we're about to figure it out right now, is the only thing I'm not sure about is how we're actually going to insert this guy right here, because he has got a so actually I could just put that guy in. I could just put this guy actually right here, I think. So I think I could just put that guy right there.
John, with ManyChat and Zapier, could we not have something equivalent to like a coupon that expires at a certain date in the future? Wouldn't this be a similar kind of function where this membership essentially expires at a certain date in the future?
Yeah, it would be similar, but I'm not sure exactly how we would have a coupon that's going to expire. I would assume that the coupon that's going to expire is we're going to just check that date. So somewhat similar.
Okay.
Somewhat similar, but I'm still just a little bit confused on how exactly we're going to do this, because I need to put this, because I'm almost certain. So let's just start and actually try to make a flow for this. All right. So this is going to be called give plan. Give dance plan by age. Let's just grab that guy right there.
Just another thought on this, John. For example, when you have the membership site, like the $10 per month, if someone is tagged as not having paid in the future. They don't renew their payment. They no longer have access to the content, right? Could something similar be set to this then? So it's essentially like a monetary transaction. Maybe there's no dollars attached, but that subscription is only good for a certain amount of time. Otherwise, it gets kicked back as not having renewed the subscription and therefore no longer having access.
Right, but there's a clear trigger for that. From my perspective, there's a very clear trigger for that. Is that Stripe is managing the actual subscription renewal, and Stripe is giving me a Zapier event that whenever a new charge is made, then it fires off a Zap event. I can have a trigger there. So now whenever somebody triggers, whenever a new charge comes through on Stripe, a new event comes through, I can have that as my trigger. And then from the data coming from there, I can go in and actually look and have a couple conditional clauses that say, first, I want to check to see if this is for the advanced bot training plan. If it is, then I want to check and see if this payment has failed. If it has failed, then I want to go in and do a lookup from the email address, and I want to set that custom field to a false value. And there's a very clear trigger that actually triggers that process. But here there's a clear trigger too. Here there's a clear trigger if I can figure out how to insert this formula, and I will figure that out. So let's just do it. We want this, and we want this to be, we're going to call this kid's birthday. Okay, so now we're going to get this kid's birthday. All right. So now I'm pretty sure after we get this kid's birthday, we don't need to do anything else, but go into this action group, and we're going to trigger a Zap called push birthday. And then now we're going to create a Zap. That's going to be triggered by ManyChat. It's going to be triggered by that flow right there, which is going to be a new Zap event called Push Birthday from our demo bot. And I'm going to choose Sheets here. And this is code calculate age from birthday. And we need to create one of these rows, update a row in a specific spreadsheet. That's what we don't want to do. So I want to create an actual new row. And this is going to be calculate age from B-Day. This is going to be the sheet. We already have that MCID. And this is going to be that guy. This is going to be kid's birthday. Let's just leave that age optional for now. Now let's come back here and grab this push birthday. And let's go on and push that out. Wrong question user field type. I just don't actually understand what this could be. And then could this be an actual number? No. Here's a question I need to ask you, mini chat guys. I know you guys are always watching my videos, so I need to figure out from you guys why the hell you actually have a date field in your. I mean, it just really blows my mind. Why do you have an actual date field here that I can have as a custom user input, but there's no possible way to fill that piece of data out. I don't really understand that whatsoever. So maybe you guys could fix that because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I'm going to just create another one that's kid birthday text. If you see what the error is there, the error is that I'm trying to put a text in a date field and they're just not letting me put a text in a date field. So I need to go in and find kids birthday text. Now I can push that out to myself. So now the only problem is, see, that's the actual only problem. Let's try that guy again and push that guy out. Now I need to go retest mini chat. Now I should be able to get that kid's birthday date. Now I should be able to get that guy. Wow. Now how did he do that? Now you told me to do this. It's not giving me any value right now. But that guy needs to be B3. That's why that guy needs to actually be B3. Now that guy gives me that. Now what I didn't understand is why whenever I take that date and stick that date in that formula, not understanding why he's doing that, because he literally is taking that same exact value there, B2, that point, he likes that. There, he likes that. And here he likes that. So we could probably work around this maybe if we do something tricky. Go back in, move this guy up. Now, Zapier, you're not going to actually give me anything that's going to actually let me know what row this is on. So, let's see if there is a way to actually reference the current row in Excel. He says I can just use row. So let's first just try that and see if I can put in, what did he say, just equals row. So let's see if I can do that. So if that works, then we should be gravy. If that doesn't work, then we've got to do a little bit more thinking. Okay, so that worked. So now if that worked, we should be able to come back here somewhere we did this. And let's see if we can actually just insert this and it not go crazy. Oh. Now, is that actually going to work? Still doesn't actually work. So it still doesn't work. So what type of workaround could I actually do for that? Because he doesn't want to grab that row from there. He didn't have a problem sticking that row in there. I actually reverse that row because it shouldn't actually be that row. It should actually be this. It should actually be this. It should be a B. And this should be a B. Let's see if I need that. That probably won't work, but that's half of programming, is just trying to figure out if something will actually work or not. That's not actually going to work either. So it did let me actually reference that row. I know it's going to be a B. It's going to be a B this. Where's our sheet at? This guy should be a B. Also there. So I know I could actually just go in and have a value that would hold that row, but then I would actually have to have two updates, and I don't really want to do two updates. So is there something else I can reference a current row? No. So this says I need to use this indirect guy right here. So let's see if that actually works. So let's see if that works. Hopefully that works. Now you see why. Now you see why I said it would be much easier if we just use their actual date. So we would just actually use their date. It would have been great. And not their date, but if we would have just used what their age is, it would have been great. I'm not missing am I missing this thing? Even if I have that thing, I don't think that's gonna work. Even if I have that thing, that's still gonna just return me some stupid value. Okay. So now you wanted, where is that function at? No. If this could work, then that would actually be awesome, but I'm almost certain that that will not work. Holy shit. I think that worked. So I do think that actually worked finally. Biden's. So now I should be 30. Yeah. So there, that worked. All right. So now we actually can pop them in there and get their actual age. Then we need to have another spreadsheet to have your plans. All right. So we're going to need another. We're going to need another spreadsheet that's actually going to go in and have your plans that are going to correlate ages to actual plans. And then even on this guy, we could go in and actually update your tags. So, and then update the actual plans available to them. So that was, I think this was the main hurdle that we actually needed to solve, was this part right here. And we've solved that part right there. So now all you need to do is have some plans by age. So now we can have that, some plans by age. Now the only real stupid thing here is going to be that we actually need to go in and now do a search to get that guy's age. We need a search to get that guy's age. We need a search to get that guy's plan. And then we need a mini chat to send back that guy's plan. So we want to look up a row, and we want to look that up by calculate that. We want to look up by mini-chat ID. Look that guy up. So now that guy's there. So now we can search and continue that guy. And then here we want to choose an account. Now here we want to look up plans by age. And we want to look up age. And what's that value? We want to look up that value, age. test that step again. I want to actually get the correct age now. And then now let's go and test this step. Oh, I don't want to skip. I'm going to actually do that. Now I can get some plan. And now let's go back to mini chat and let's choose our bot account. And then we want to look up this row right here to get that plan. And then we want to come back here. Gotta get that push birthday. And turn that on. Oh yeah? Seriously? So what was your problem? Something happened there, but you never pushed me anything back. So why did you not push me anything back, Zapier? Could not find anything in that first search. Step 3. So let's just try this one more time. Not sure why you can't find anything there with that mini jet ID. Why did you not find that is my question. Totally looking up your mini chat ID. I'm looking that up from your mini chat ID. Sure. How did you just find that guy? He doesn't actually exist anymore. That's my real question. So this should actually technically work because I don't see why he's not actually. I actually don't see why he's not failing right there. Now he actually failed. So that I can understand. But I don't actually understand why he's failing to find that because he's definitely creates that. He stores that. He's looking up that mini chat ID and matching that guy to this guy's user ID. And again, he's found that guy, and I'm not quite sure how he has actually even found this guy, to be honest. I can't really tell how he's actually found this guy at all. No problem. Yeah, it is a little complex, and we're pretty much done with it, except for the fact that for some reason right now he's finding this that doesn't actually exist anymore in our sheet. And now he's not finding that in our sheet. So now he's actually finding that. Now in this, he's going to go in and search age against that guy's age. So right now, my only suggestion would be we come right into this flow right here. Come right into this flow right here. Give me delay. There. And then right now, what we really want to do is separate these two guys is what I would think we'd want to do. Get out of the way. Eyes out here. Okay. So let's go in here. Add an action. This is going to be a delay. By Zapier. Delay for now we're going to add a little delay. Let's just get rid of that guy. And push that guy out here. So there's that guy. Now let's wait for a little delay. And see if that will actually work. For some reason, I'm really not understanding why he's not finding that data from that spreadsheet. He's still waiting for 1 minute. So maybe he's done with this little 1 minute wait. Nope. So let me wait 1 minute too. So let's see if he's done with his delay. He is done with his delay, but he also looks like I'm not understanding it, honestly. I'm not understanding why he's not finding that. Why he's not finding that row. I mean, he should totally find that row because clearly the value that he's looking for right there is clearly right there where I'm seeing it. So clearly this is calculate age from B day. This is clearly sheet 1. That guy. Should I remove that delay? Okay, there we go. So now he works. Now, good night. The reason that you're getting that the second time is because this same guy, we're looking up by the mini chat ID and he keeps finding the same mini chat ID over and over and over again. So he doesn't want to do that. So let's go in and see you, Colin. Let's go in. Even I'm going to leave in just a second and take a little break, but let's just go in and try this one more time and see if we can get that other content. That second content. There's that second content. So that's pretty much what you're wanting, right? Well, there it is. So now we could go in and create another zap. We could go in and create another zap now, and what that zap would do is listen to this date right here, and whenever this date is updated, we could push out some data to ManyChat. Almost anything's possible. Like I said, we just have to think and figure out how we could actually do something. So almost anything we really want to do, we can eventually get done if we spend enough time and spend enough brain power thinking about what we could actually do. So you see what I did. I didn't know how to do this. I literally had no clue how to do this. So I asked my best friend. I just asked my best friend Google to tell me how to do it. He told me a couple wrong pieces of information that didn't work, but eventually he told me the right thing to actually do. And with his help and enough trial and error, so with Google's help and enough trial and error, you see that we can eventually figure it out. So what we do now is we go in and add some zap that listens to this guy. This guy's going to get automatically updated as time goes by. He's going to automatically get updated. And then whenever he gets updated, we could listen to this guy for when he updates. And then that could be the trigger that we use to go in and trigger out an event in ManyChat, which would, let's say, update a tag or update a custom field, and then maybe even wish somebody a happy birthday or something like that. So, Elisa, I think we can call this one quits for now, and I'll take a little break, and maybe in like 30 minutes or an hour, I'll do another training session if you want to join in on that one. But I think for right now, I'll take a little break for a little bit, maybe eat an apple or something. So thanks for challenging me today and getting me to actually learn something myself and figure out how to do something new. Anything you want to say or anything before we call this one quits? All right, then. I'll see you later. Thanks for coming.